دور ضيوفنا الكرام، المشاهدين اللي بيتابعونا في كل مكان، كبار الشخصيات وأيضا زملائي من مجال الصحافة والإعلام، مساء الخير وأهلا بحضراتكم. سعيدة جدا بوجودي مع حضراتكم النهاردة، ودايما بتشرف وبكون ممتنة إن يتم اختياري إني أقدم حدث بيحمل اسم قارتنا، القارة الجميلة، قارة إفريقيا. إحنا النهاردة متجمعين بصدد حدث جديد بيقام لأول مرة، النسخة الأولى من بطولة بتشهدها قارة إفريقيا لأول مرة، بتضم 8 أندية من أقوى أندية إفريقيا. والحقيقة إن كلنا أمال إن البطولة دي يكون ليها ثمار متنوعة، مش بس على المستوى المادي أو التجاري، لكن أيضاً إن بتقوم بدور كبير جداً في تطوير كرة القدم في إفريقيا، وأيضاً تكون بتكتشف نجوم، لأن طبعاً القارة السمراء قارتنا، قارة إفريقيا، الحقيقة إن هي مليئة بالمواهب، وأول ما بتاخد الفرصة بتتألق. شفنا كتير من الأسماء الكبيرة اللي كتبت اسمها في كتاب التاريخ الكروي الإفريقي، اللي سابوا البساط الأخضر، لكن في منهم لسه موجودين وبيبدعوا، ونتمنى إن البطولة دي تثمر عن أسماء جديدة. النهاردة أول خطوة في البطولة دي اللي بنشهدها مع حضراتكم على الهواء مباشرة. اسمحوا لي إن أنا أرحب بيكم في حفل القرعة الخاص بدوري كرة القدم الإفريقي. أهلاً وسهلاً بحضراتكم. Ladies and gentlemen, our dear guests, dear media and football lovers, a warm welcome to the highly anticipated African Football League draw event. We are thrilled to have you here tonight as we embark in this exciting journey. The African Football League, AFL, is a celebration of football excellence across the African continent. The maiden edition takes place from October 20th to November 11th, 2023, featuring a dazzling array of prominent clubs from various African nations. It will uphold the highest standards of fairness, transparency, and of course, professionalism, and will invest in the continued growth of African football. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start with a video message from the President of the Confédération Africaine de Football, Dr. Patrice Motsepe. Let's watch together.
Today is a historic and an exciting day for African football, and particularly for African club football, because we will be participating in the draw for the African Football League, which will kick off on the 20th of October, and it will represent 8 of the highest ranked football clubs on the African continent. The African Football League will be a very important step to ensure that club football on the African continent is globally competitive, it's exciting, the fans love it, and it involves the best players on the continent, and the prize money will be amongst the biggest. We recognize that an important part of maintaining and ensuring that the best African players play in Africa is linked to the salaries that we will be paying all of these players. Those salaries have to be competitive, and we also want to make sure that the clubs that are participating, it's an important part towards the football clubs on the continent becoming self-sustaining and, very importantly, becoming profitable. The performances of the African national teams during the World Cup, as well as the World Cup in Qatar, we were very proud of the performance of Morocco, making history and qualifying to the semi-finals of the World Cup, and all of the nations, Cameroon, Senegal, Tunisia, and Ghana, that represented us in Qatar, made us proud to show the world that African football is as good as the best in the world. At the recent Women's Football World Cup in Australia and New Zealand, our women's national teams made Africa proud. The exciting performances by Nigeria, by Morocco, by South Africa and Zambia indicated that amongst our women, the football on the continent is globally competitive. We are excited that this is part of the process to ensure that the players we have in Africa are paid well, are recognized that they are world class, and the football on the African continent is exciting and attractive to football spectators and supporters.
CAF President, Dr. Patrice Motsepe, thank you so much for your inspiring message. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have another important message, but this time it's from FIFA President, Mr. Gianni Infantino. Let's watch it together.
Dear clubs, fans, and friends, for a long time, Africa has contributed a tremendous amount to football through its talented players. But the passion of its fans has also lit up the beautiful game. We certainly saw that from the Morocco supporters at the FIFA World Cup in Qatar last year, as their team really gave them something to shout about. Of course, it's not only African men doing the continent proud, with Africa's 4 teams at the FIFA Women's World Cup last month also putting in historic performances. At FIFA, it is our mission to make football truly global. And we've always believed in the development of football in Africa, something our FIFA Forward program has helped underline. This competition is a great and effective way of taking African football to the next level. And that is something I'm personally delighted to see. It will do that by driving foreign and domestic investment in African football, by providing the optimum platform for the continent's best clubs and players to compete against each other, by engaging supporters in Africa and across the globe, and by setting the standard for sustained and sustainable development, accessibility and inclusivity in Africa. We have had just 2 African finalists in the history of the FIFA Club World Cup. This competition will help these teams develop the footballing and financial muscle to consistently match and perhaps then defeat the very best of the rest of the world has to offer. FIFA has been supporting CAF and the African Football League, the AFL, by sharing its wealth of organizational and logistical expertise. And I'm proud to say that CAF and the AFL have done a wonderful job in what they have put in place so far to bring this competition to life. While this first edition will certainly be fantastic, I'm already looking forward to the future and the opportunities of the next edition, which will be expanded to feature 24 teams representing over 16 different countries. More clubs means more stadiums, more host cities, and more fans watching more exciting matches, fueling the development of African football with their fantastic passion for the game. This competition is a world first, and it is a great pleasure and privilege to see it come to life alongside all of you. Thank you very much, and of course enjoy the African Football League.
FIFA President, Mr. Gianni Infantino, thank you so much for your positive message. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special moment. Allow me to welcome a legend in the world of football, a player who left his mark on Udinese, Modena, Rennes, and Sunderland. He won the silver and the bronze medals from AFCON 2008 and 2010, representing the esteemed Black Stars, Ghana's national team. In 2010, he was also honored with the BBC African Player of the Year award, and he was Ghana's Black Stars captain, Ghana's all-team top scorer, and he's also the highest scoring African in FIFA World Cup history. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all welcome on stage Asamoah Gyan. Thank you, Asamoah, for being with us tonight. We're very happy to have you. And to complete the draw team, let's welcome another remarkable star, the world-renowned international top model from Angola, representing the most prestigious brands worldwide and named Forbes Africa magazine's top model of 2013. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the beautiful Maria Borges. Maria, it's really nice to have you here in Egypt, and I'm sure that we'll see a beautiful draw with you both. Asamoah,
Thank you.
you insisted yesterday, you are doing the rehearsal, that I have to mention, and you have all the right. This is the biggest achievement you did, and no one took the title. You're still the highest scoring African in FIFA World Cup. What does it mean to you?
First of all, I'd like to greet everybody who is here. Thank you for coming to this prestigious draw, and I'm happy to see you all, guys. Good afternoon to you. And secondly, I just heard about one of our legends, Salif Keita, who just passed away right now. So
may his soul rest in peace.
we've lost a hero right now, So may his soul rest in peace, and I say condolence to his family. Yeah, well. Being at this stage, being the African top scorer in the World Cup history is a great achievement, for myself. Growing up, I know I wanted to be a top professional football player, but being the highest African top scorer in the World Cup history is something beyond my imagination. I feel like it's a bonus, so I feel like my hard work took me where I'm at. I always believed in myself. I always learned my craft, and as a striker, all I do is goal scoring. I just need to put the ball in the net, and being there is a blessing in disguise.
And what would be your advice for the new generation?
Yeah, my new generation is, as I said before, as I always say, there are a lot of players who paved the way for us to be where we're at, and now, as a football legend who put my book in the books, I also paved the way for other young players who are coming up. What I have to tell them is they should keep on working hard, they should focus on their dream, to believe in themselves, and the sky is their limit.
Yes. Maria, being on stage, I think it's the easiest thing for you, but today it's different. What does it mean or represent to you, representing Angola in such a sportive event?
It is fantastic. Good evening, everyone. As an African, proud Africa, I would say it is a celebration for the new generations. And after African Football League is really bringing the change for all of us. As I say in Portuguese, juntos somos mais fortes, which means in English, together we're stronger.
Absolutely. So let's all delve deeper into the participating clubs by watching a captivating report that showcases their journey. Let's watch it together. ما شفنا مع حضراتكم هي رحلة مشوقة جدا، بس اسمحوا لي قبل ما نكمل طبعا مراسم حفل القرعة، طبعا خبر وفاة لأسطورة كبير زي ساليف كيرا فاجئنا الحقيقة. فإحنا باسم الAFL والكاف والفيفا بنتقدم بخالص العزاء لكل الأسرة الرياضية. We are shocked by the saddened news of the death of Malian legend Salif Keita. May his soul rest in peace. والحقيقة زي ما كنا بنتكلم إن هي بطولة جديدة. This is the first edition of this tournament or competition. So I think we need more, or we need to know more about the procedures. Let's check the coming report together.
Welcome to the Maiden edition of the African Football League, taking place for the first time across Africa in 2023. The AFL is a partnership between CAF and FIFA, showcasing the beauty of African football, coming in with 8 teams for its first edition. We have in Pot 1, Simba SC of Tanzania, Enyimba FC of Nigeria, Petro Atletico of Angola, and TP Mazembe of DR Congo. In Pot 2, we are joined by Al Ahli FC of Egypt, Wydad Athletic Club of Morocco, Esperance Sportive de Tunis of Tunisia, and Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa. Team allocated to Pot 1 shall play the first leg of the quarterfinals at home. Quarterfinals 1, 2, 3 and 4 are allocated in Pot 3. Simba SC, hosts of the opening match, is represented by a different colored ball. They are pre-assigned to quarterfinal 1, which is also represented by a different colored ball. The remaining 3 clubs in Pot 1 shall be drawn to quarterfinals 2, 3 and 4 respectively. The path to the final is predetermined as set out here. African Football League. The time has come.
The time has come, so let the African Football League draw begin. دي اللحظة اللي احنا كلنا في انتظارها، فهنبدأ على طول مع أساموا and Maria. As you can see, the 8 teams are divided in pot number 1, pot number 2. Pot number 1, Maria will be responsible of, and pot number 3 is with Asamoah. Let's start with Maria and make sure that
We have Simba Sports Club.
we had to confirm that Simba is the first choice as it's hosting the opening match. Simba from Tanzania were CAF Cup finalists in 1993. They reached the Champions League quarterfinals 3 times, latest in the last season. And now with pot number 2 with Asamoah.
Al Ahly Football Club.
إذن سيمبا هتكون أو هيكون نادي سيمبا في مواجهة النادي الأهلي المصري. الأهلي is the most successful club in the continent, having won a record of 11 CAF Champions League titles. We'll proceed with Maria. Asamoah, I'm sorry. Yes.
Quarterfinal 1.
Back to pot number 1. We'll proceed with Maria, and the next club will be
Tut Busan Masambi.
TP Mazembe Congo, Les Carbeaux are the second most successful club in CAF Champions League history. They won the title in 5 different occasions.
Espérance Sportive de Tunis.
TP مازيمبي هيكون في مواجهة اسبيرانس من تونس. اسبيرانس de la Tunisie, one of the biggest sides in the continent, having been crowned African champions 4 times. Yes, with pot number 3.
Quarterfinal 2.
Back with Maria and pot number 1.
We have Insimba Football Club.
Enyimba from Nigeria. Enyimba were the first ever Nigerian side to win the CAF Champions League title in 2003, and they achieved that twice in a row.
Wydad Athletic Club.
Wydad from Morocco, 3 times African champion. Wydad reached the final of the last 2 CAF Champions League editions. And now with pot number 3, yes, go ahead.
Quarterfinal 3.
And the last 2 teams, one in pot 1 and the second in the second pot. Yes.
We have Athletic Petros de Luanda.
Petro Atletico are seasonal companions in CAF competitions, having reached the Champions League semi-finals in 2022. Petro Atletico de Luanda's participation is subject to the pending outcome of the disciplinary proceeding opened by Angola Football Federation. And now with Asamoah.
Mamelodi Sundowns Football Club.
African champions in 2016, the Brazilian of Mamelodi Sundowns are building a legacy for South African football clubs. Pot number 3.
Quarterfinal 4.
As you can see on screen, this is the schedule of the competition, the first edition of AFL, 8 clubs from the 20th of October till November 11th. Well, do you think it's It's quite strong.
Yeah, quite competitive. All these 8 teams are strong in the continent, in Africa. So personally, I'll be in the stadium to be watching
Really,
these
huh?
games because it's very, very interesting, and I can't wait. I can't wait for that day.
And
I
what
agree.
about Maria? How was the draw experience with us tonight?
I agree. It was fantastic to know the teams involved and the competition is going to be healthy as well. And it's a huge opportunity for women in sports as well, I might say. And I will support the winner, for sure.
Of course. Well, we're very happy to have you with us. And ladies and gentlemen, الحقيقة أنا كنت سعيدة جدا. دي القرعة الخاصة بالنسخة الأولى من هذه البطولة. زي ما شفنا هي بطولة هتكون في النسخة الأولى منها ل8 أندية. طبعا بنأمل إن في النسخة الثانية، وأأمل إن أنا أشوفكم إن شاء الله فيها، هتكون العدد هيكون أكبر. إحنا وصلنا مع بعض لنهاية هذا اليوم الجميل. The draw comes to an end now. I would like to invite the media for interviews and interactions in the mixed zone. ومرة أخيرة, thank you so much for being here. It was an honor participating. وأنا بشكركم جدا وأتمنى تكونوا قضيتوا معانا وقت ممتع. Best of luck إن شاء الله. بتمنى لكل الأندية كل التوفيق، وأتمنى إن احنا فعلا نشوف وجوه جديدة على البساط الأخضر دايما تكون بتشرف أفريقيا. بشكركم جدا. كنت معاكم مريم أمين.
Well done. Yes, beautiful.